Hey, what's up, peeps? I'm Sade, and we are back for another Astro series. For today, we're going into the unique and eccentric sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. It is masculine and it is the final air sign. So we started off with Gemini being the first air sign, mutable. Gemini was all about how do we make sense of the world around us while still creating and connecting to the people around us through knowledge and information. Then we go into Libra, which was more about how do we have those intimate connections one-on-one and building maybe business relationships, friendships, as well as intimate partners. Now we dive into Aquarius, which is all about the collective, not only the people in my immediate circle, but how can I create something to benefit the people around? And just like the sign previous of Aquarius, which was Capricorn, Aquarius is also co-ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the original ruler of Aquarius, but the modern ruler of Aquarius now is Uranus. And if you remember with Capricorn energy, Capricorn was also about building a legacy to last for generations and generations to come once a person passes. Aquarius, now continuing to take that Saturn energy, cares about creating and building something for the collective. But because it's Uranus and because it's air, it's about futuristic thinking, a higher vision, technology, and receiving downloads, kind of like lightning rods of information coming from a higher level of consciousness. And whereas Capricorn likes to do the work on its own, Aquarius is all about how can I find a community of people that I relate to, and how can we together build something that is beyond what the human psyche can even fathom right now. Because Aquarius is that air sign, it is about intellect, higher levels of thinking. And because it is the final air sign, as we transition into the last sign of the zodiac, Aquarius energy really brings higher consciousness, understanding information without knowing how you actually understand it. It's really tapping into that crown chakra of receiving downloads from the universe, from a higher source, and trusting enough in self to push forward with that vision. Now, if you think of the opposite sign of Aquarius, we have Leo. And with Leo being the fifth house ruler, Leo was all about creative energy of self, how to creatively express self into the world. Aquarius is about, it's not about just me, it's about the collective. How can I take something that is unique about me, unique about my ideas and my thought process, and maybe cultivate something with a team of people, with a tribe of people that could be something new and different for other people to benefit from. Just like the counterpart of Aquarius, Leo cares about the joy and excitement and the pleasure of other people around them. And Aquarius feels that same exact way. Instead of just me having joy, how can I extend that joy towards others and create something for people to really have an easier way of life and a different way of understanding? Now, because Aquarius has that co-rulership of Saturn, it's all about tradition, but it's about taking what is necessary to keep from tradition, letting go of what no longer is serving, and having the power and the vision to create something brand new that is probably what people aren't used to or what people haven't seen, but there's a possibility that it can work. And because Aquarians are really known for having like weird, eccentric ideas, quirky ideas, it's really about them trusting deeply in that intuition to manifest and create something, because they receive information from ways of not even understanding how they receive that information. They really have to work a lot on making sure they trust in what they receive, the downloads that they receive, and to push forward with that. Now, I will dive deeper into what the planet Uranus stands for, but Uranus is all about innovation, new ideas, and drastic and dramatic change. Whenever you have Uranus anywhere in your chart, you can expect for change to happen, but not in the Pluto sense of, psychological and things that are hidden being brought to the light, but more so the change of this is no longer serving you, and because you've been resistant, I now have to drastically change something in your life, and you have to figure out a way to adapt to it. Whenever there's resistance with Aquarian energy, it's always a lot more pain because Aquarius is a fixed sign. So it's all about being steadfast and pursuing perseverance in what you believe in and what you're trying to bring. Now, because Aquarius is this air energy, they are really about connecting to different types of people. And because Aquarius is that final air sign, sometimes Aquarians can really feel obligated to the team. You know, the opposite of Aquarius being Leo, more so about self. Aquarius is about how can I help in some way? And sometimes this obligation can overpower and be overbearing for them because they have this heart that wants to naturally help and give, but a lot of times they have to learn how to cultivate a little bit more boundaries between being selfish and understanding what self needs and self wants, and then also giving to the team and giving to the collective. Both of those can exist in one space, but of course with Aquarius being a fixed sign, they can be fixed sometimes in their way of viewing their responsibility and their role in the community. Sometimes because Aquarians are so big about the community and about causes that matter to them, they really care about humanitarian causes and things that are beneficial for the world at large. These desires and passions can sometimes take precedence over self. And Aquarians really need to work a little bit more on finding more time to be a little bit more selfish, to take care of self so that you have water to give to the rest of the world. And speaking of water, the symbol of Aquarius is the water bearer, and it is the person that is bringing wisdom, spiritual understanding, water, being mystery, being psychic, bringing that water and pouring it into the collective, pouring more information, air sign, intellect, pouring that information into the collective for people to see that there is new ways that we can go about things. Just tap into this consciousness and then using that air to bring things together and that fixedness of building something that is long lasting. Now, the part of the body that Aquarius rules is the ankles and the wrists. So these are the joints in the body. And if you think about the ankles and the wrists, they are what help to connect the hands to the arm and the feet to the leg. Feet being ruled by Pisces. And you need your ankles and your wrists. And a lot of times, if you have instability in the ankle, then it's going to cause a lot of feet problems. And this is important because your feet carry the weight of your body, but it's your ankles that really glue and keep the feet connected to the rest of the body. You need your feet to move forward, but you need your ankle to keep things in line and together. The chakra center or point that Aquarius rules is the crown chakra. Leo also rules the crown chakra, and the reason why Aquarius rules the crown chakra, and it could also be the third eye for vision, is because Aquarians are known for having eccentric and out of the box ideas. And in order for you to really gain a lot of the ideas that Aquarians have, you need to have an open heart and an open mind. And when you have an open mind, you can receive downloads, and you won't really be able to understand how in the world you came up with this idea, but you trust that that idea was given to you for a purpose and for a reason bigger than you. Aquarius energy is about bigger than me, bigger than the collective. Something that we can all learn from Aquarian energy, and this is an aspect I love about the air sign Aquarius, is how to be the weirdo in the group and be confident in that. Aquarians are actually known as being loners because they have this weird energy to them of kind of being a part of the world, but not really being a part of the world, being here, but kind of not being here. And they have this creativeness to them because remember, their co-partner is Leo, creativity. They have this creativeness to them that makes them so eccentric. And they have this ability to tap into a different realm of consciousness that makes them a little weird, a little different. When Aquarius energy has matured, it is a very confident energy in knowing this is who I am, even though it might not be something something that other people are interested in, but it interests me and I believe in myself and I'm going to push forward because Aquarius is a fixed sign, push forward with that weirdness. And this is what a lot of people can really take from that energy is believe in the things about yourself that other people may not understand. Trust in that and let that be your power because we all have something to offer to the world, but we're all unique and different in our own way. Something that Aquarian energy could work a lot on. Yes, Aquarians can be known for being quite detached emotionally, and reason being they are an air sign. They deal more so with the mind. And with it being co-ruled by Saturn, Saturn is very black or white, right? Very to the point. There's not really any gray. And this is something that could be appreciated about Aquarius energy because you always will get the truth from an Aquarian person, but it also is something to work on with building a little bit more connection emotionally with people. Instead of moving from the mind so much, try to balance out the mind and the heart, moving from that Leo aspect, Leo being so loving about romance and passion, and Aquarius being more about the intellect, higher consciousness. If people with strong Aquarian energy can find a little bit more balance between the heart and the mind and developing emotional connection with their friends on intimate levels where it can allow people to understand them a little bit more. I think Aquarians do suffer from feeling misunderstood a lot, and a lot of that has to do with that intimacy, that warmness. Aquarius is a pretty cold sign. It's air. So that warmness, a little bit more fire, a little bit more water, and just kind of opening up and allowing people in to possibly try to understand who they are as people. Aquariuses are the freedom thinkers of the zodiac. And if there's one thing I can say about Aquarian energy is never try to hold them down or hold them back. They are very headstrong when they believe in something, not headstrong in a, Taurus type of way of being stubborn, but they trust their beliefs, and their beliefs are usually for a way of making life for people better and easier. They have so much knowledge and information, and they really like to share it with people. Sometimes they could feel a little insecure because their ways of sharing and going about things are not the status quo at all. Aquariuses are not about the status quo at all, but they are the freedom thinkers, the eccentric people, and the lovable loners of the zodiac with so much knowledge and so much information. All right, that's all we have for today about the lovely sign of Aquarius. Next, we're going to dive into the 11th house, which is the house Aquarius rules, as well as Uranus.